everybody, it's Christopher Not Walking. Welcome to the Dirty Nerdy Show. And with me today, we have a very, very, very special guest who is also a very dear friend of mine. So this one means a lot more to me than it normally would, you guys, because, this is a really good friend of mine. Guys, welcome Spooky Whispering to the show, otherwise known to everyone who loves her dearly as Pockets. What's up, Pockets?
Hi, Christopher. It's good.
Yeah, I told you a while back. I was like, I'm gonna get you on the show, and you was like, I'm scared, and I'm like, don't be scared. It's just me. But yeah, now you're finally here. So what's up?
It's been a really exciting day so far.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, it has.
yep. Just posted a new video last night.
Oh yeah, you did. The reception like so far?
It's pretty good because it's way outside of my usual comfort zone of spooky.
Yeah. See, this is what I like about your channel. You purposely push yourself outside of your comfort zone quite often, and it really pays off. I've seen you at the top of the Reddit page a few times. Not to
Oh,
brag, but I'm totally gonna brag on you right now.
yeah, that's happened.
Yeah, now. And yeah, I see nothing but good things for you. So let's talk about this. I know a little bit of the answers, but for the people at home who don't know, how'd you start getting into the ASMR thing? Like, how'd you find it?
It was through Reddit, but not the ASMR Reddit. It was Let's Not Meet. The real
Mhm.
creepy stories of people running into absolute creepers and never wanting to meet them again. I had posted a couple of stories there and I got into listening to them on YouTube. And YouTube automatically, plays the next video. And it switched to someone doing ASMR reading of a Let's Not Meet. And I was like, ooh, I love whispering. I love whispering so much. Where can I get more of these whispered, spooky, true stories? And there wasn't enough. Like, I watched all the ones there were, and there weren't enough. So I was like, I'm going to do mine. And that's how it all started.
Oh yeah. So how'd you come up with the channel name?
I just went with what I did, exactly what I do, spooky whispering. I was
Spooky, spooky whispering.
very literal there. I was much comfortable with
Spooky.
whispering at first rather than soft talking.
By the way, guys, she's very good at accents. There is a version of Pockets that we call British Pockets, and she does that quite well in a lot of her videos. And if you go check those out, you can hear British Pockets. But this is regular Pockets,
Mm
unfiltered Pockets.
hmm. Mm hmm.
Let's talk about Pockets really quick because you're very big into fashion. What's your favorite
My
clothing
favorite.
with pockets?
My favorite clothing with pockets?
Yeah.
That would have to be my, what is it? Diner doll from Angelic Pretty. It's a elegant
Ooh.
gothic Lolita dress, super frilly, super adorable, and it has two pockets that are big enough to hold. It can hold a one of those battery recharger packs, two cell phones, and a 3DS. I can carry all of that around in the pockets of one dress because, like jean pockets, they suck balls.
Yeah,
They're
jean pockets.
they're tiny on girls' clothes, but that dress has enormous pockets, and I carried all of that stuff around with me at convention, no problem. So yeah, I love pockets.
So I don't know if you remember those, but like I remember like wearing like Jankos with like the huge big ass pockets that like went all the way down to like your ankle. You know what I'm talking about?
I knew them, but I never got to have a pair. I totally was wearing grunge
What?
at that phase. Yeah, I was wearing hand-me-down grunge clothes from my sisters.
Talk about the Lolita thing. How does that influence? Because and I want you to describe what it is because I won't try to say what it is because I'll mess it up and I don't want to do that to you. But let's talk a little bit about what Lolita is and how it influences your content.
Um, Lolita is a Japanese street fashion. It's sort of a backlash to the over sexualization of women's clothes because basically, if you wanted something to be feminine, it would be sexual, it would be low cut, it would be short. So instead, this centers on what girls like without being that because it's super modest and yet it's all the cute stuff that girls should still be allowed to like, even if you are older. You know, there's no problem with absolutely loving a dress that has gingerbread houses on it because it is adorable. And so I actually found out a word that I use, frou frou, is an old, antiquated term for the rustling of a girl's petticoat, which petticoats are very important in Lolita clothing to keep the fullness of the skirt. And I absolutely love the swishy sound that I make when I walk around in my Lolita. So that's kind of an ASMR thing that's part of the fashion before I was even into ASMR was the frou frou, the rustling of a girl's skirts.
You just like that frou frou feeling?
I do like that frou frou feeling. I've always liked really, really matchy outfits. And in my very first basement video, I wore a dress that's sort of borderline gothic and sort of Harajuku street fashion that I wore one of my petticoats with, and you can hear it rustling as I walk around in my video. So yeah, I have some frou frou even in my videos.
Aw. So, what are some of your favorite triggers? Because you're very unique with the triggers. You're almost like one of those like Foley artists, if you think about it. Because you go and like I've seen her record before, and she'll get like the celery to like mimic like the sound of like bones cracking and so where do you come up with all of that stuff?
Um,
It's
it's kind of FX ideas at the same time because anything that's good for a sound for FX that it's like, oh, I bet that sounds interesting. I'm stopping 20, 30 times a day going, oh, I like that sound. Or, oh,
Mm.
I wonder how that sounds. And so I kind of try it out and play with it. But I discovered by accident that I really like the word schizophrenic. Schizophrenic. And I never realized that a lot of sounds that I liked, you know, it was sort of a discovery for me because it's like, yeah, I've always liked the sound of scissors or the sound when you unsheath a blade from a sheath. I love that sound, especially if it's a long one because it kind of it rings when you pull it out. Um,
I love a good blade.
yeah, I definitely am a big fan of knives and stuff. Stabbing sounds are actually pretty interesting, and peeling sounds, like peeling fruit. I really like those sort of sounds as well.
Fun fact, when Caleb was here with Katie, he let me play with his knife. I was so happy.
Oh, yes, I remember hearing you play with it because it's an automatic one. Chink, chink.
Yes. That's what I love about it. I want a knife like that so bad.
They're very fun. I have a semi-automatic knife. I wish I had it with me right now.
We could do the sounds right here. Uh, so what are some of your goals for the channel in the future?
I want to continue trying new things. That's definitely I've discovered pushing outside of my comfort zone really helps me come up with new and different ideas. So, I definitely want to get better at making eye contact with my camera. Get a little more personal with my viewers because that is a goal. And let's see, I want to really really find my niche. Really work on these stories that I do in more than one then these stories that I do in more than one episode. Because I kind of like stories. That's one of the other things that I really, really, really like is a full, complete story. So I want to make a lot of complete stories that are original for my viewers.
All snap stories and stuff, man. You know, you about to really blow up. You notice, right? Like that's about to happen for you.
I was amazed when I got 20 followers. Like I was amazed at that point. So everything else is just blowing my mind.
I was
So
one of the original.
you were.
Yeah. I remember because like I would give her shit because she would hide. She was so timid back then. She would literally like hide behind the microphone and like she like barely showed her face and just hid behind the microphone, and now she's all like, "What?" She's like flipping her stomach off and bloopers and stuff.
Yes. Oh, that's one thing I also want to make a thing. ASMR bloopers. That needs to be a thing. We need to see more of the behind the scenes because it is. It's really funny, the stuff that happens sometimes when you're trying to record quietly.
Yeah.
And
What's some of the funniest stuff that's happened to you while you're trying to record?
oh, my cats try to get into. I had to abandon an entire video because my cats were into my stuff so much they just wouldn't stop. They wouldn't leave it alone. I had to
The-
abandon the entire video and threw them a tea party because it was just it was blown because they wouldn't stay out of anything. I also have one where I dropped a glass on my foot while I was recording. So
oh,
yeah, there's like a thump and I go ah, and I scream into my microphone.
I was there for the other one. I know exactly which one you're talking about. I think it was like a egg cracking video.
Yeah, I had boiled egg, or no, they were raw eggs. And yeah, I was cracking them. I was tapping the eggs and then cracking them very slowly. One, I put my thumb straight through the shell. The cats were just way too interested in that.
How do you come up with your ideas for like all of the role plays?
Being a weirdo, I guess. They just come to me. I have a list right now that's around 65 ideas for videos that I want to get to. I just have to find the time because I'm insanely busy right now. So I try to, whenever I can, at least get one of them out. And I can just go to my list and look and see what am I in the mood for tonight. And some of them change as I go. Like, I definitely have a Harry Potter one planned, but it might change as I start filming it. Sometimes I never know where my mind's going to go with it. Sometimes I'm
Are you
going to
going to
be
be
dark.
Hermione?
I might be Hermione or secret, big announcement here since I'm letting this cat out of the bag. Or I might be your new potions teacher.
Oh snap!
Yeah, completely original character because I am a little bit old to be a school student. It's a little bit more believable maybe if I were a teacher.
Hey, I don't know about old. We're the same age, so I take offense to that. We have some fan questions,
Oh,
and
yay.
you want to get into those?
Yes.
Okay. I had Caleb quickly send me these because I was like, it's been a day, guys. I'm not even gonna lie, it's been a day for me, but we're still working. Um, okay. Question one comes from Hush Tone ASMR. He has two questions for you. He said, "Come to call you pockets, and what else do you use the basement for?"
Ah. Well, Pockets comes from my Lolita server, which usually every time I did a dress review, the first thing that I mentioned, and I usually ended up mentioning it 5 or 6 more times, was if the dress had pockets. So on one of the forums where Lolitas talk about stuff, they started referring to me as Pockets Chan. So when I got onto Discord, I named myself Pockets. So everybody would know who it was.
Nice. I like it.
And
Josh.
oh, about the
Oh,
basement one. That was the second one.
yeah, yeah.
Lots of interesting things, storing some dead bodies, all that.
All snapped, all the dead body that's up in there. Uh-huh. Okay, so Josh Silver, follower of the show, great friend of ours, and he writes, "When did you discover ASMR? And two, what inspired you to become active in the community? Because that's a very different thing."
Active in the community. Yes, that is different. I discovered ASMR this December. Like, it's really been that recent. It was mid-December when I first discovered it. And it was you, Christopher, that made me decide to become active in the community. It was you taking me in and being like, come meet all these people. They're awesome. So really, it's Christopher right here.
There you go. I take no credit, but I'm gonna take all the credit right now, guys. You have spooky whispering because I was like, "Hey, girl." active in the community. Get Twitter.
Yeah, I would have just been posting videos and all by myself and keeping to myself and hiding in the shadows behind my microphone if not for you.
Yeah, I was like, no, don't do that. Do this. It'll work. And then it worked. My favorite thing that you've ever done, and like because it was so weird and out there, but it got like a ton of views. Um, the stomach growl video.
Mm-hmm. And that was due to a conversation we were having with you and all the people in your community on your server. It was, we were looking at analytics. Everybody, I was like, wait, you can look at what people searched to find you in the analytics. And they were like, yeah, you can do that. I was like, oh, I want to see what's in mine. And I had mentioned in the description that there was an accidental tummy growl because I have IBS. It growls all the time. And number 4 on my search was stomach growling. And I'm like, what? What is this? So I decided to just experiment with it. And the rest is history.
And it worked out. And
Mm-hmm.
people clicked on that. People clicked on that video so fast because you see a girl with her tummy out, and it's like, "Hey!" And then, and then, and then everybody clicks it, and then they listen to it, and they're like, oh,
People
"This is
have.
actually cool." Like I listened to it, and I was like, "What?"
Mm-hmm. It gets a lot of weird reactions, but some people are like, oh, it's like the aliens. And I think it sort of sounds like I have demons in my stomach.
Stomach demons.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite is that GIF of you with the blooper, and I've already mentioned it, but I'm gonna mention it again. That GIF of you when you were trying to you just looked down at your stomach and you just started flipping it off like fuck you. That was great. Some
Oh, yes.
questions. Daniel, the GIF King. He has some questions. You ready for those?
Yeah.
Uh, he he writes first. He writes, if you could go back in time and change one thing, what would it be? And two, do you prefer baths or showers?
He wasn't really specific. He said go back in time and change one thing. So I'm thinking anything. At first, I would say the JFK assassination, but I think they did a movie on how badly that would turn out.
Hmm.
So go back in time and prevent people from making Vegemite.
That is so gross.
I know, right? That's why I would prevent it from ever being made.
Speaking of Vegemite and Australians and their weird eating habits, Mama Night Blossom has a question, but you already answered it. She would like to know how you came up with your channel name, and we already discussed that. Sorry, Night Blossom. Let's move on. Well, Jason, what up, Jason? How you doing? Would like to know when did you decide to use a British accent for ASMR?
Oh, British pockets. I
Yeah.
decided probably it was around my 4th or 5th video. It was a dear friend of mine really pushed me. He was like, why don't you try a British accent? Because he was always trying to do this American accent. And you know, it wasn't bad. And so I was like, I've never done a British accent. I'm gonna sound so embarrassing. It's gonna be absolutely mortifying. I'm gonna offend you. I'm going to offend all of the UK. And he's like, do it anyway. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. And I think I had 2 British people propose to me that very day. And they were like,
Oh,
no one,
snap.
no one actually talks like that, but we wish they did. Because they're like, you are so posh, you are so southern. It's unheard of, but it's absolutely marvelous. And as you can tell, the change in my voice, I'm much softer when I am speaking as British pockets. So it really lends itself, because with my southern accent, my American southern accent, it takes a lot of air behind it to talk like a hick. But with British pockets, I can talk much softer, and I can finally do soft talking instead of just whispering. So a
Mm.
lot of my videos, if I'm doing more talking, I'm going to be doing British pockets because it is rather soothing and people do love an accent. And I have found out that while I don't actually sound like anyone from the UK actually sounds, people still find it pleasing. So that's when I decided,
Yeah.
sure, I'll go with it because I was so happy. I was absolutely thrilled. I was like, I finally have a soft voice too. Yay.
I don't have a soft voice, but I have some more questions for you.
Awesome. You have that velvet voice. You can do it. I know.
No, I
I've
don't.
I've
I
heard
don't.
it.
I don't have nothing. Hey,
Yes,
everybody.
I've heard it.
Ooh, what's going on down here, guys? Uh, how you doing? It's Christopher Not Walking, host of the Dirty Nerdy Show. Anyways, yeah, we got more questions. Caleb has written a shit ton of questions. So he would like to know, first of all, what's your favorite mountain?
I think there's a mountain in
Kilimanjaro?
Texas. I really like it. Anyway,
A mountain in Texas. Cool. All right. We'll print it. We're going with that. He also would like to know what's it like to have a famous tummy.
it's slightly embarrassing, and also I'm glad that I found something kooky. Like that was a really cool day discussing analytics with everyone, and I'm glad I did it.
Uh, his third question is, where did you get your nursing degree? Because everybody knows your nurse pockets over here at the
Yeah.
Dirty Nerdy server.
Nurse pockets, yes. I got it from my mom and my sister are both nurses, and hanging out with them all the time, and just my general over concern for everybody. When I hear somebody is sick, when I hear somebody has some condition or whatever, I can't help it. I want to help people. I want people to feel better. I want them to know that there are things that they still need to see their doctor because I'm not an actual nurse, but that there's things they can use at home, things that they can use in their day-to-day life, things they can change about their lifestyle that will help them feel better, because I do want people to feel in good health. I know it sucks to not feel good. So if I can do anything at all, if I can suggest a tea, a rub, something as simple as the lavender that our dear producer puts on her pillow to help her sleep, that's something as simple as that. It's it's
Lavender spray is like my life when Katie was here. Like, oh my God. Every night I was like, let me get the lavender spray. And then she got mad at me because she's like, half the bottle's gone.
But see, it does help you sleep. It's something completely natural. It's something that you don't really think about it. It's a tiny thing, but there's lots of those. For every condition out there, there's something that might help ease it just a little bit. So
Yeah.
I love helping people and putting my brain power to use trying to get people to feel just a tiny bit better. So that's why I ended up as Nurse Pockets.
Oh yeah. So speaking of making people feel better, there's one dude I know who makes people feel better all the time, and his name is Articulate Design, and he has a question. He would like to know, will we ever see English pockets?
We
Okay.
do sing English Pockets a little bit here and there. I haven't done a dedicated English Pockets video yet, but we will. We will very soon. I definitely have a having a tea and chat with her in the works, on the books, planned out, ready to go. I
I
just
think
have
you
to
should
find a quiet enough day to do it.
I think when you do it, you should definitely like dress up as like David Bowie as the Thin Man and get like a fob watch, like a pocket watch. Like do that. That'll be so dope. And just look at the pocket watch.
Awesome. Oh my goodness.
What do you think?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I have the je ne sais quoi to pull that off.
I think you do.
We'll see. We'll see what I have on hand. But I do believe I have a pocket watch somewhere, so maybe I can fill at least that part of the request.
There you go. I think, yeah. I think you'll also probably need a top hat.
I I don't know if I have a top hat. Hmm. Though I might be
Top
able to
hat,
find someone I can borrow
monocle.
one from.
There's got to be somebody around here with a monocle. Um, a top hat. But yeah, pockets. You did it. You did everything. And how do you feel?
I feel wonderful.
I'm so glad and thank you so much for coming on the show. And remember, you are always welcome to come on the show anytime you want. You want on the show, you just gotta ask and you're in.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Christopher. I am glad that I finally plucked up the courage to do it.
Yeah, yeah. Me too. But guys, listen, if you liked this video, make sure you hit that like button. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe to Spooky Whispering. And if you've done all of that stuff and you're like, what else can I do? And you want to support the show, right now you'll see a little Patreon button pop up. Go ahead and click that. Look at all our tiers, and you can find that for just $1, you can get early access to our videos. Sometimes you'll get extended interviews and all sorts of stuff like that. But make sure you follow us on all the social medias and stuff like that. You can find us at Dirty Nerdy Show on Twitter, and you can find me on Twitter at Chris Not Walking. But yeah, Pockets, where can they find you on Twitter?
Spooky at Spooky Whispering or Spooky Whisper.
There you go. You can find her right there by
Now you made
doing
me
that.
doubt my own name.
We'll put the links down below just to be sure. But yeah, guys, my name is Christopher Not Walking. That is Pockets, aka Spooky Whispering, and we will see you in the next video. Bye bye.